Hello everyone. Welcome to this lecture on system of equations. Okay. So basically what we are finding out is solution to system of equations. So till now whatever we have discussed, we have just solved a single equation and found out the value of a single variable. But now what we are going to do here is we are going to discuss about system of equation where there is more than one equation. Okay. So there are two types of system of equation that we are going to discuss. First is going to be linear equation, then is going to be non-linear equation. So today we are going to discuss about linear equation. Okay. A simple example of linear equation can be I can write down that a11 x1 So this is a very simple example of a linear equation involving two variables. Okay. There can be n number of variables and n number of equations. And always we should remember that number of equation should be equal to number of unknowns to have a unique solution. Okay. So when you say you want to find out solution, what we are interested in finding out the value of x1 and we are interested in finding out the value of x2. Okay. So if you want to find out the value of x1 and x2, that is if you want to find out the solution of given system of equation, we basically have two methods. First is graphical method, the other is method of elimination. Okay. So also there is one more method that is known as Cramer's rule that we are not going to discuss. Okay. It involves determinants. So there are three methods or two methods. Since we are not going to discuss Cramer's rule, let us talk about graphical method and method of elimination. So what you do in graphical method here is you write down these equations in the form of this. Okay, this is nothing but what? Equation of a straight line where m is the slope and b is the intercept. Okay, and x is a variable, y is your other variable. So what you do is you write down these equations in this format. So if you write down in that format, this is going to be x2 is going to be where this is the slope and this is the intercept. So once you have written down the equation in this format, what you do is you plot the equations on the graph. So this is your x-axis, y-axis. So this is a straight line. So let us say that this is equation number 1, and let us say that this is your equation number 2. And wherever these two lines intersect, that is going to be your solution. Okay. So this is how you find out the solution of given system of equation graphically. Okay. So there might be a situation where there will be more number of variable and more number of equations. Okay. So when you talk about graphical method, the disadvantage of graphical method is you can easily solve the problem involving two variables. Okay. And also you can solve the problems involving three variables and three equations. Okay, and you have to plot it on a 3D plot, that is x, y, z, and instead of lines there will be planes. So you can also to some extent solve 3D problems, but when you go to to problems which involve more number of variables and more number of equations, this becomes impossible. Okay, so obviously when you talk about graphical method, it has disadvantage. It can only solve 2D problem and 3D problem. Okay, or problem involving two variables and three variables. Okay, and also when you talk about Kramer's rule, again Kramer's rule you can solve it for problem involving two variable and three variable. But if you want to find out the solution for a given system of equation which involves n number of variable and n number of equations, you have to go for method of elimination. So this method of elimination you have already studied in your high school. Okay, so if you can recall, let us say we have these two equations. So at present I am just going to take equations involving two variables. So this I think you might have already studied in your high school. So let us say this is one equation, and we have another equation, and we want to find out the solution of these two equations. Now to find out the solution of these two equations, what you are going to do is you are either going to eliminate x1 or either you are going to eliminate x2, and you are going to find out the value of other variable. So to do that, what you are going to do is, let me eliminate x1 here. So I am going to multiply this equation by 3. So once you multiply this equation by 3, the second equation becomes 3x1, 6x2, 24. Now what you are going to do is, you are going to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So this is going to be negative, this is positive, this becomes negative, this becomes negative. So since this is same, this will cancel out. This will become minus of 5x2, and this will become 18, minus of 18, and x2 comes out to be 18 divided by 5. And similarly, if you substitute the value of x2 in either of these equations, you'll find out the value of x1, that is 4 divided by 5. So this is your method of elimination that you have studied in your high school. Okay, and if you are unable to recall, I think since we already discussed this particular example, I hope you have now understood what is method of elimination. Okay, so this is the method of elimination involving two variables. So again, what you can do is you can make this to adapt to three variable. Okay, and even for n variables. Okay, but to adapt it for n variables and to be able to solve it using computer programs, you have to create a systematic algorithm, okay, or systematic method. So that method is known as your Gauss elimination. Okay, so basically this is what we are going to do, but it is going to be even more systematic, and we are going to write down the method such that we should be able to adapt it for the computers. So this